Okay, here's the scenario in shortcut number 2. You ask students to decide which fraction is larger, and they do this. Cross multiply and get 4 times 8 is 32, and 5 times 9 is 45. And they decide that 4/9 is greater. Has this happened to you? I hope not, but based on other teachers' feedback, I'm guessing it probably has. So the way the shortcut is supposed to work is to cross multiply or multiply diagonally going up. And this does seem like such a fun shortcut to teach students, right? Just cross multiply, and the side with the bigger answer is the bigger fraction. But when students forget which way to go and they cross multiply going down, then this shortcut becomes a problem and it is not very beneficial. Students typically don't understand why it doesn't work both ways. So let's take a quick look at why cross multiplying actually does work if it's done correctly. Now, in my experience, students who use this method typically did not realize why it worked and that the 45 and 32 are the numerators you get when you multiply the denominators together to make a common denominator and get equivalent fractions. So you can see if we multiply the 8 and the 9 by each other to get our common denominator and then get the equivalent fractions, we get the 32 and the 45. So the cross multiplying is basically doing the numerator part of the equivalent fractions. But students don't often seem to realize that. I'm not saying they were never taught it or they were never shown it, but it wasn't what they remembered, and they usually could not explain why the cross multiplying method worked. And is that a bad thing? I mean, some people would say no, it doesn't matter. They're getting the right answer, so it's fine. But when they make the mistake and get the wrong answer and can't figure out why they were wrong, then it is a problem. Once students really understand the reason behind the shortcut, like if they can talk through this and they can explain why it works, then it might not be too bad to use with smaller numbers. It's my opinion that it's not beneficial because students will use the shortcut so frequently that they will forget the concept behind it. And if they use cross multiplying more than finding the common denominator, then they are not getting practice finding the LCD. And they will need that later on. So when they're 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, they will need to be able to find common denominator. And sometimes they get to that grade level and then they say they've never even heard of the LCD. So it is important, in my opinion, to continue practicing with the LCD rather than just using cross multiplying. And then, there's the question of how do students use cross multiplying if there are three fractions to compare and order? When they're in third, fourth, fifth grade and they're comparing and ordering fractions, it's fine if you've got two, but if you've got three, how does cross multiplying work? Do they multiply every denominator by the other numerators, or do they do the first two fractions and then the second two fractions and then the first and the third? I think it just has potential to get too confusing for students if there are more than two fractions. What do you think? Okay, so if we agree that we are not going to do cross multiplying, then what do we do instead to help develop the concept of comparing fractions? There are several ways to teach or reinforce the concept of comparing without cross multiplying. And we talk about that in depth in my fraction program, but for now we'll look at using models. Fraction strips are a great way to help students connect with the concepts. If they've already learned to compare fractions by cross multiplying in previous grades, you can use models as you're teaching the new skills in your curriculum to help them develop the meaning. So in this case, students could look at a 1/2 strip and a 2/5 strip, or they can line them up or you can line them up on the board for the class to see, and they can actually physically see which fraction is larger. And then you could either split those into tenths or you could add tenth strips to the visual so that students can see that 2/5 is equal to 4/10 and a half is equal to 5/10. And then again, they can physically see with the tenths that 2/5 is less than a half.